Um, Welcome and thank you very much for being willing to spend some time with us, Linda. It's so awesome to see your smiling face and so amazing that technology allows us to spend a little time together and not have to fly across the country. So very cool.
It's wonderful. And I love this idea of yours because, everybody's signed up already. And, there's now this like big gap between today and September, or even, when they first signed up. And it's
Right,
like, there's a lot of thoughts that can be going on in your head.
right.
And so I think this is a really lovely idea to, be able to talk to everybody.
Wonderful. And there are also people that probably, may not get a chance to come or that see this or maybe haven't signed up yet. So they'll get a little bit of a teaser or a taste of what they might get if they come. So I've got a few questions for you. And one of them is something that I've experienced in my horsemanship journey. And then being an instructor and being out there with a variety of students, I feel like it's a common theme. And that is motivation. Something that we're really passionate about getting good with horses, and so the passion is there, and often the motivation is in the beginning, and then sometimes it can kind of wane. So do you have any tips or for folks to stay motivated?
Yes, I have some really good tips. I think the first one is that most people lose motivation because they don't have clear goals. And then they don't track their progress towards those goals. So people often say to me, how come you're always so motivated? It's like, you get to the barn and you're all motivated about your horses, or you're motivated in your teaching or in business or whatever we're doing. And that's because I've got very clearly defined goals. And I have big ass goals, right?
Hmm.
I'm not just going, oh, tomorrow, I'm going to trot a figure eight.
Right.
It's like I know where I'm going in the future. When I play with my horse Jazz, I'm developing him as a Parelli super horse. I know what that looks like. It looks like level 5, 6. It looks like public demonstrations. It looks like pretty cool stuff in all four savvies. I'm also developing him for Grand Prix dressage. It's my first journey to Grand Prix training my own horse. Like, I've ridden Grand Prix horses, but I've never trained my own horse. So now I've got this thing that, and that's like, I've still got 4 years to go to get to Grand Prix, right? I've got 5 years under my belt and
Wow.
now another 4 years to go. But I know what every year looks like, and I know what the landmarks are, and it's exciting. Like today I rode Jazz, and I just went, he felt unbelievable. He was so connected to me. Now, a week ago, we had some little tussles about things, and he didn't like my ideas. And, I have to be able to fix that without alienating him or going, oh, I hate training with Linda. I still need him to love that, if we're going to reach our goals. And of course, you have those little ebbs and flows. And I mean, the last 2 days, and especially today, were just incredible. So that motivates me even more for tomorrow, right?
Right.
Because I've got the goals, I'm seeing my progress towards the goals. And when you can't track your progress, when you don't see it, or worse still, you don't have goals, so you don't even know where you're going, it's hard to feel successful. And if you don't feel successful, you don't wake up motivated.
Well, I think
So
that's
we're going to be
really, oh, go
a
ahead.
lot about this, because it's something that I find, competitive people tend to be more goal oriented, but recreational people, we just have horses because we love them, and, we want to do the program and stuff like that. We tend not to have clear cut goals, and that really affects motivation. And
Right.
I'll bet you there's a lot of people, that are listening to this, or that, are your students. And in the beginning, they were highly motivated. They got their level 1, they maybe even got level 2, and then it just kind of went, yeah, because they got distracted and they stopped having goals, or things got a little bit hard.
Right.
And so we'll be talking about how to change that, because the goal, the overarching goal, is to have horses in our lives,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
We can't imagine life without a horse.
No.
And then we want horses to go, come and play with me, not,
Yes.
oh, you again, or my human never comes and plays with me, right?
Right.
So, yeah, we'll be
Well,
talking about that. Sure.
that sounds great. And I think it's really cool that you said, because I think for me, a lot of times I do well, I want to have a good figure eight, like you said. Like the goal isn't big enough. It isn't that big dream. And a lot of times I think about keeping that separate. Like oh, well, that's my dream, right? And the goals and the tracking aren't necessarily related to that. So that's really helpful to me to think about, well, no, have that be the end result, and then have the little pieces to get there. So that's awesome.
Exactly. It makes a huge difference. And, I've got my Pegasus personal growth program, and I did that because, I just found how much people didn't know how to set goals, or they were afraid to set goals.
Right.
And I actually used to be one of those people. And so it's easy for me to talk about it because, I can identify with that feeling. I wasn't born as a good goal setter. I had to learn it and get over my fears. And so that's what I'll be sharing. And, obviously it's not going to be a whole seminar on that, but there's going to be some very definite pieces around it, because when I leave, I want everybody to keep making progress, not to go, oh, I did the clinic and now I'm back
Right.
to,
Yeah.
no goals,
Right.
right?
On to the next clinic. Yeah.
Exactly.
Good. Very good. A
Um,
lot of the folks that are riding in the clinic with you in September are curious about what they can do to prepare to be ready for you. So, do you have any tips for them?
yes, come as you are.
Perfect.
Because what happens is a lot of people get really keyed up, and it's like, oh my God, I've got to practice this, I've got to practice that. And I think what's really important to know is that this is not a performance. It's a clinic. It's where you go to learn, and you never feel great. you know,
Very
like
true.
anything show the teacher is like, oh my God, I can't wait to show you this. It never happens.
Mm-mm.
You're always better at home. Everything's different. And, so to me, I think about just come as you are, don't change anything. Work on what you're working on. And when you get into my arena, I'm going to like, you know, take you from where you are and move you forward. So, the best place to have a problem is next to me, is in my clinic.
Yeah.
Don't hide them. If you don't have problems, I'm bored. So, I think it's really important that, people come with what they've got. We're going to do problems and goals when we start anyway. So I want to know what behavioral problems, what issues you're dealing with. And most of the time, we get them sorted out in the clinic. And if not, then you get a good head start on it and you know what to do to finish it. And once we've fixed the main problem areas, then we move on to the goals and the advancements. And we're doing Happy Horse Clinic, right?
Yes.
Or is it the Masterclass? It's
Yeah.
a Happy Horse Clinic.
Yep.
Yeah. Each day is going to have a theme, about safety, comfort, and play. And it just evolves really nicely. I've done a few of these now, and they're one of my favorite clinics to do.
Very
Just
cool.
the way that the 3 days evolve, with their themes, just makes it so. Um, it helps you to really understand the psychology behind everything that you're doing.
That's wonderful. That sounds
Yeah,
great.
whoever you are. Don't try to
Okay.
be perfect.
Great. Perfect. That's great advice.